Francesco Bagnaia sits at a crossroads in his MotoGP journey. A two-time world champion, a proven leader, and a cornerstone of Ducati's modern success. Yet, for the first time in years, questions swirl around his future. The man who once embodied perfection aboard the 16 now finds himself searching for answers, battling inconsistency, and fending off whispers of decline. Still, through every rumor and every doubt, Bagnaia remains resolute. In his own words, "My career started at Ducati, and it can finish at Ducati." It's a declaration not just of loyalty, but of identity. For Bagnaia, Ducati isn't merely a team, it's home. From the moment he first donned the red leathers, he has embodied the spirit of the Italian manufacturer. Fast, passionate, and unrelenting. His rise to the top wasn't a sudden explosion of talent, but a steady evolution built on resilience and technical precision. And even now, as his results falter and criticism mounts, that loyalty has not wavered. Bagnaia's journey with Ducati has been nothing short of remarkable. When he joined the factory team, Ducati was fast but flawed, a machine of power and unpredictability. Under his guidance, and alongside the engineering genius of Gigi Dall'Igna, the 16 evolved into a masterpiece of speed and control. Bagnaia's back-to-back titles in 2022 and 2023 were not just personal triumphs. They marked the beginning of Ducati's golden era. He became the face of the revolution, the calm within Ducati's storm. And yet, MotoGP is a sport where dominance is fleeting. By the 2025 season, things began to unravel. The introduction of the new GP25 bike brought unexpected challenges. For Bagnaia, who thrived on stability and feel, the new machine seemed alien. He struggled to extract the same comfort and confidence that had defined his championship years. Qualifying positions slipped, podiums disappeared, and frustration began to seep through the cracks. The once flawless partnership between rider and bike felt disconnected. In Barcelona, the struggles hit an alarming level. Bagnaia qualified a miserable 21st, unthinkable for a rider of his caliber. At Misano, things worsened as he finished outside the points in both races. Then, just as it seemed the storm might break, a glimpse of the old Bagnaia returned. In Japan, he dominated. Smooth, precise, untouchable. The world champion was back, silencing his critics with a masterclass performance. But the relief was short-lived. A week later in Indonesia, disaster struck again. He crashed out from last place, several seconds off the leaders. It wasn't just a mistake, it was a reflection of a deeper problem. As the season dragged on, questions began to surface. Had Ducati moved on without him? Had the arrival of Marc Marquez, the sport's fiercest competitor, unsettled his rhythm? Or was the GP25 simply incompatible with his style? Bagnaia refused to make excuses. Instead, he turned introspective. "My side of the box was working a lot," he explained. "The engineers were trying to help me adapt to the bike. But something was not clear. I wasn't adapting. When your teammate is winning, and you are not, it's not easy to believe." But they never stopped working. His honesty cut through the speculation. This wasn't a man broken by failure. It was a champion searching for solutions. He admitted that during those difficult months, he barely recognized himself. The confidence that once defined his racing had faded. "I wasn't recognizing myself. I think nobody was recognizing me," he said. "Some people started to doubt my potential, but I never lost my confidence. I was always sure my potential was to fight for wins." That quiet determination has always been Bagnaia's hallmark. Unlike many of his peers, he rarely vents frustration publicly. His leadership comes from consistency, from knowing when to push and when to reflect. But even leaders need reassurance, and Ducati's faith in him has never wavered. Gigi Dall'Igna, Ducati's general manager and the architect of their success, recently described Bagnaia as the second most important rider in the brand's history, behind only Casey Stoner. It's an extraordinary compliment, and a reminder that Bagnaia's impact goes far beyond statistics. Under his reign, Ducati became a dynasty. He redefined their identity from a manufacturer known for wild, unpredictable speed into one associated with refinement, balance, and dominance. For Dall'Igna, Bagnaia is not just a champion, but the bridge between two eras, from Stoner's explosive brilliance to Marquez's comeback narrative. Still, not everyone is convinced that Bagnaia's Ducati chapter will end on his terms. His current contract runs until the end of 2026, but the rumors of change have already begun. Some insiders believe that if his struggles with the GP25 continue, Ducati may be forced to rethink its lineup. Younger riders like Jorge Martin and Marco Bezzecchi are pushing for factory seats, and with Marquez thriving, the pressure is immense. But Bagnaia remains unmoved. When asked about his future, he replied calmly, "I never doubt Ducati, because I think my career was starting and finishing at Ducati. It's too soon to speak about next year. If I will be okay with my bike, I can fight for it. If not, I will do what I always do, push and set everything in a good way." Those words reflect not just loyalty, but a sense of unfinished business. Bagnaia knows his worth. He knows that form can fade, but class endures. And he knows that even in a team full of stars, legacy is built not only on victories, but on character. His partnership with Marquez has been one of the most fascinating storylines of the season. When Marquez joined Ducati, the headlines were filled with speculation. Would their rivalry create friction? Could two alpha riders coexist in one garage? To everyone's surprise, the answer has been yes, so far. Bagnaia has spoken highly of Marquez, calling him one of the best riders in MotoGP history. Their relationship, while competitive, is grounded in mutual respect. For Bagnaia, the challenge of having Marquez beside him is both a test and an opportunity. But it's also a reminder that MotoGP spares no one. The sport is cyclical. One season, you're the unbeatable champion. The next, you're fighting to stay relevant. Bagnaia has lived both extremes. In his championship-winning seasons, he was relentless, a master of late braking, tire management, and mental composure. His ability to balance aggression with control made him nearly invincible. Yet now, that same precision sometimes feels like a weakness in an era dominated by wild, unpredictable racers who rely on instinct over calculation. What sets Bagnaia apart, however, is his adaptability. Every setback in his career has been followed by a comeback. In 2020, he was written off as inconsistent. In 2022, he silenced everyone by becoming Ducati's first world champion since Casey Stoner. In 2023, he defended that title against fierce competition, showing poise and maturity. Even now, in the face of adversity, few doubt that he will find his rhythm again. The bond between Bagnaia and Ducati runs deeper than results. It's cultural. Italian rider, Italian team, a match made in racing heaven. The connection between Borgo Panigale and Bagnaia is emotional as much as technical. When he wins, it's not just for himself, it's for the Red Army of fans, the engineers, the mechanics, and every Ducati supporter who bleeds passion for the brand. It's why his declaration, "My career can start and finish at Ducati," carries so much meaning. Behind the scenes, Ducati's management continues to stand firmly behind him. They understand that transitions take time, that every new generation of machinery comes with growing pains. The GP25 is faster but less forgiving, demanding a riding style that even veterans must adjust to. Bagnaia's engineers are confident that they're closing in on solutions. Recent tests in Misano reportedly yielded positive feedback, with Bagnaia finding more stability on corner entry. One of his main complaints earlier in the season. As MotoGP moves toward its next era, the dynamic within Ducati is fascinating. Marc Marquez has reignited fan interest and media attention, but Bagnaia remains the emotional core of the team. He represents continuity, the calm voice in a garage filled with ambition. For Ducati, having both riders is both a blessing and a logistical puzzle. Keeping harmony between two world champions requires trust, transparency, and shared goals. For Bagnaia, the motivation is simple: to prove that he can still be the man to beat. His struggles don't define him. They refine him. Every champion faces moments of doubt, but only a few rise above them to reclaim their place. That's the fire burning inside him now. When asked recently whether he feels pressure to match Marquez's success, Bagnaia smiled. Pressure? No. Motivation? Yes. Having Marc as a teammate makes me better. He's one of the best riders in MotoGP history. And it's a privilege to share data, to compare, to push each other. It's the answer of a true professional, confident without arrogance, competitive without resentment. In many ways, Bagnaia's current challenges mirror the ones faced by his heroes. Casey Stoner, Ducati's first MotoGP world champion, also endured difficult seasons despite his undeniable talent. But he remained loyal to his craft, just as Bagnaia has. Stoner's time with Ducati was short but legendary. Bagnaia's, on the other hand, may span his entire career. As he looks ahead to the remaining rounds of the 2025 season, his focus is not on rumors or speculation. It's on rediscovering the rhythm that made him great, the harmony between man and machine that defined his best years. The road to redemption is long, but Bagnaia has walked it before.